Hello, I'm Cassie,
I'm Sarah.
and this is Novel Matters, where we talk about the books we love, the ones we didn't, and everything in between. Sarah, if you could live inside the world of one book for 1 month, which one would it be?
That's a hard one. There's just so many good books. And I feel like throughout this episode, you're probably going to hear me say this a lot. So this is probably just recency bias. But the book that I just finished, The Road to Tender Hearts, I think I would want to live in that book and be a part of that family because the characters were just so like lovable and I really enjoyed that book and I cannot stop thinking about it since finishing it. So right now, that's going to be my pick.
I feel like I've been seeing that book everywhere ever since you made your video about it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to get sick of me because I'm going to be talking about it a lot. But I've never seen it prior to getting that book. Haven't seen it since that. So we'll see.
When was it released? Do you know?
This year or last year? I know it's newer.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Mm-mm.
So what
I
about you?
think mine would be either Ninth House by Lee Bardugo.
Yes,
Or the Atlas Six.
of course.
And they're both like dark academia. So,
Just fits you and like what you usually read, I feel like, anyways.
Yes.
So that's a good one.
and it's only 1 month. So, like, I
You
can't
could
get
get
into
through
too
it.
much trouble in 1 month.
Exactly. You have to like test the waters a little bit and get your feeling for living there.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Current reads. Are you reading anything aside from, well, we don't even, this is our book club book. So,
This is our book club book. And honestly, no, I'm still getting through Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by Fee Schwab. Slowly getting through it. I know that I talked about that last episode, but I've been listening to the audiobook and just with the other books that we've been trying to read, kind of push that back on the back burner. But that I'm slowly getting through. I think I would like it more if I was reading it like in a physical copy instead of listening to it because I feel like I could get into it a little bit better.
yeah.
What about you?
I just started The Raven Tower by Anne Leck.
Mm-hmm.
I started this book 4 years ago, and I could see it was a TBR will pick. I could see where I dog-eared it, and it was on page
Yes.
9. And I never picked it up again until like last night. So.
There's a new acronym for I think it's like not right now or something like that. But like you have like TBR for to be read and then did not finish the DNF and then now there's I can't remember what it is, but there's a new acronym now and that's exactly what you did.
There's too many acronyms to keep up with.
So many acronyms in the book world.
But I don't know. I almost thought I was considering cheating for real when that came up on my TBR wheel, and then I started reading it again. And I was like, I don't know, because it's like over 300 pages.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to read something that I like. I've been reading so many books just this whole year where they're just kind of like mediocre.
Yeah.
Because I realized that for our top 3 and our bottom 3, I was like, I don't have a lot of tops this year.
I agree. When I was looking, I guess we'll talk about that a little bit more next episode. But I agree, as I just have not had a lot of top rated books this year.
So I just really want to get into something good because I feel like I'm running out of time this year already.
Right? It is almost September now.
What about on your TBR?
TBR, so this might be surprising, but I've been back into the book talk realm recently, and I found a book by John Steinbeck called East of Eden,
Oh, yep.
and I really want to read that book.
What is that about? I've heard about it, but
I have no idea.
you're just going to jump into it?
I'm going to just jump into it. I think I like the surprise of not reading the synopsis. So I think I'm going to do that. And then another one on my list is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Who's that by?
That's a very good question, and I forgot to write it down. Midnight in the Garden. I've seen it on Book Talk, and then also through some friends have recommended it as well. It looks like John Burnett is the author of that one.
Interesting. And you don't know what that one's about either?
I'm going to assume that it's about the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil and something along those lines. So,
All right.
yes.
On my TBR is Catabasis, because that's our next read,
Yes.
by R.F. Kuang, and then Sandwich by Catherine Newman. And that is a mom pick. And she's like, you have to read it.
And your
Like,
mom
I don't
always
care
has the
about your
best.
TBR, Will. Like, you have to read it.
Okay.
So
nice.
I have to listen to my mother.
You do, because you always say that she has the best book
Yeah.
recommendations.
Mother
anyways.
knows best. And she said it's really short, and she was like, you're going to be able to finish it in one day.
Yeah.
So I was like,
that.
okay, that's not that bad. But she was like, when you read that, you'll understand why I'm so crazy. I was like, okay, definitely need to read it.
That's funny.
Okay. So you want to get into One Golden Summer?
Let's get into One Golden Summer.
Okay. I feel like we do need to preface this with, we were not going to do One Golden Summer for this episode. It was supposed to be The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. And we were on the same page when we started reading it. I think we were both like, this is not it. We cannot dedicate the amount of time that it will take to get through this book and find any enjoyment in it. So we just kind of switched it up and went with One Golden Summer. And that was, 3 days ago?
That was 3 days ago. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of myself because I'm a slow reader and I got this book done in 3 days. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, but this book made it easy. I liked it.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very easy read.
So what One Golden Summer is, it's by Carley Florek. It is a romantic novel about a photographer named Alice. And she kind of gets stuck in like the wheel of time of just aging, and she's going through a really bad breakup, and I think she just kind of feels stuck. So she decides to take her Nan, love Nan, to the lake where she spent some time in her youth, and she goes there to just like reconnect with herself and I guess reconnect with her Nan too. And she meets Charlie, and she actually photographed Charlie when she was 17, and she didn't realize that was him until she met him again. So it's a great read. It's like the perfect summer read. So we're glad that we picked it up.
Yes. And I think our book club would be very glad that we finished it too, so we can talk about it this evening.
And I feel like everyone might have actually read it, except maybe Katie, but you know.
Sorry, Katie.
Yeah, sorry, Katie. But to be fair, she doesn't even know she's actually coming. So
That's true.
yeah. Okay. Did you see any themes?
Yes. So definitely about grief, because she was going through that massive breakup, and she was dealing with that. I feel like with Alice, she wants to, like, she carries that heavily on her. Even throughout the book, they said that she always feels very deeply. So I think she just needed time to like decompress and find herself again, because she was wrapped up in like, I would say she more so absorbed her former boyfriend's like personality and his likes and all of that she's just trying to find herself again at 32.
Well, and she said she dove into work so hard that she kind of like masked all those bad feelings. So she didn't even let herself feel anything from the breakup. So I think going to the lake kind of let all that go and
Definitely
just find herself again.
I felt like that was really relatable too, because in life, I feel like we go through that as well, is even if we're not dealing with a massive breakup or heartache or grief or anything, but we get wrapped up in our life and we just need to find ways to feel like ourselves again. And so I feel like this book was really relatable, even if you weren't going through the same notions as what the main character was.
Yes. Like sometimes you just need to read something really sad or watch a really sad movie just to let yourself actually process the hard things in your life, because it's like a moment in time where you're like, it's okay if I just let it all out because I'm crying at the book or the movie. I did that the other day watching The Notebook, and it felt amazing.
Yes. Sometimes you just need a good cry.
Yeah, sobbing. But I thought there was a theme of self-discovery. So her family would call her Turtle because she was so shy and she would really like speak up for herself or like break free of the constraint of being a little turtle. And I think when she went to the lake, she really just broke free of that and was seeing that, oh, I can be like outgoing and I can do this and I can do that. And it's not just what I'm told that I am. So I liked that she was finding herself and we got to see that.
I agree. And I feel like she kind of hid behind like a wall for so long that I feel like Charlie was able to get that out of her and really showcase like her personality and like how fun she is and what a good personality she does have. And I feel like, and then throughout the book, like her siblings and like her nan said that they loved seeing this version of her. So I thought that was really sweet.
Yes. I also said just embracing a fresh start because I mean the book kind of starts out with her editing those pictures and her finding out that, well, she took the job because she wanted the job and she thought she would have a little bit more creative freedom with it, with not having to edit out like cellulite and whatnot with the models. And she ends up having to do that anyway. And I think that really just made her see like, this is not what I want anymore. And I think it's time for me to really just start a path of my own. And it kind of starts the trajectory of the book of her starting this little bucket list and like finding her youth again and as she's aging.
Yeah, absolutely. I also feel like too, like this book had a lot of healing elements as well, especially for Alice, being able to complete like her bucket list and finding herself again, and also to the healing from like her past relationship and being able to go into a new loving relationship as well.
Speaking of moving into a loving relationship, Charlie.
I have thoughts. I was thinking about this morning, and so my thought here is, well, first, I think Charlie, I feel like he has great potential, and I think he like showcases that too. However, the one red flag that I would throw up about Charlie is that he is a grown man in his mid-30s, that we need to learn how to communicate better. We can't just be stringing people along, because throughout the book, like he told her like, I don't want a relationship, I don't want to do this, but then he was doing relationship-esque type things where that gets very confusing and jumbled. And I think Alice even like struggled with that, is that confusion of, it seems like he wants a relationship, but every time that she tries to initiate something, he backs away. And we learn that it's because of like the heart surgery, and that like he's struggling with that and knows that that's going to be at the end of the summer. So then just say that, or just continue on the strictness of not carrying on a relationship and just be friends. Stop doing the weird like relationship-esque but without the title.
I know. I think that might be one of my least favorite tropes, is the miscommunication trope.
Yes.
It drives me crazy.
We're adults. Please communicate.
Like I can see it if they are like 18 or, you know, in their early 20s, but in your 30s.
Yes. It's not cute anymore. Like it's not cute in general, but it's not cute anymore.
Did you see that coming?
Okay, I thought like whenever it kind of seemed like he had something that was like preventing him from wanting a relationship, and it's not necessarily like that he's just not lovable or he's not capable of loving, because you can see how much he does care for Alice and everybody else around him, his brother, Percy. You can see that he is capable of loving another person. But that was like, there has to be a block that is like completely stopping him. And then once it came around to like, she like stumbled in on him doing the blood pressure reading and that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, something's up here, that there has to just be something else that is really preventing him from pursuing this.
I know. I kind of love Charlie though, because in some ways he almost reminds me of Alex. So I think I'm gonna hold Charlie like very near and dear to me for a long time. But that could be what you said earlier with like recency bias, which that's something I've been hearing a lot lately too.
Recency bias?
Yeah. So I don't know, but I also would love to see some fan casting for this man, Charlie, because I could not picture him in my head.
I couldn't either.
So
We got like the concepts of what he might look like, but nothing was visual for me.
And that might say something about the writing itself, but I don't know. What did you think of Sam and Percy?
I thought that they were adorable. And let's preface that I didn't read the first book. So I'm going into the second book, not reading the first book, not knowing Sam and Percy's history or relationship or anything like that. But I thought that they were so cute and adorable. And I just loved them.
I read the first book, I think last year, and I loved it so much. But as I was reading it, I was like, this is seriously, what's that called? The show I told you last night.
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yes, it's the Summer I Turned Pretty for adults.
Yeah.
Because it was like the brother situation, and Percy had to kind of like choose. And
yes.
Yeah. And the first book is pretty good.
I have not seen The Summer I Turned Pretty or read the books. So
I read them when I was like maybe in middle school.
Oh, wow.
So it was a long time.
I didn't know that they were, I don't want to say that old because we're not that old, but
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I was so excited when it came out, but I don't know. Like seeing it on screen, there's like cringy moments.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, as always.
Especially
some things are better
high
left.
Schoolers, right?
Well, they start out that way, and then like the current season is like college, and she's also engaged.
Got it.
So
okay, that makes sense.
Just kind of follows through time.
Yes.
But that's how the first book is. They start as teenagers.
Okay.
And then they kind of jump through time 10 years later, and then they're adults in their like later 20s, I think. So
I was very shocked about the little clip. I don't know if they touched this in the first book, but the little like scene where Charlie confesses to his relations with Percy. I was very surprised about that because you just seem, from the second book, the One Golden Summer, it seems like they have such a solid relationship and have always had a solid relationship. So that was very shocking to me.
Oh, it was shocking when I read it.
So I mean, they did not cover that in the first book.
Oh, no, they did.
Okay, they did.
But it's kind of, if I remember correctly, they kind of unveil why Sam and Percy stopped like later on.
Okay.
Because like I said, they started in their teenage years at the beginning of the book, and then I can't remember if they kind of like jump around or if it's like teenage and then flash forward. I can't remember, but yeah, they kind of like unveil that aspect more towards the end, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then see how they like rebuild from there. Okay, symbolism.
I would say specifically the photography that Alice does, because I feel like it just is a reminder of the memories, and I feel like it just helps her capture those moments in time. And also, I feel like it gets you to see the raw emotion behind the camera, or like, well, the subjects, essentially.
Yeah. I thought there were a lot of circumstances where it was either Nan or Charlie, but they were both saying like aging is a gift.
Yes.
Or life is too short, things of that nature. So I thought the photograph of Charlie, Sam, and Percy represented like the loss of youth, but it also represented just that aging is a gift because they're able to look back on it. And then if I remember correctly, what's her name? I already forgot her name. Alice. Alice takes that picture again.
Yes.
When they're on the boat all together. So I think that's also like symbolism in itself of just saying aging is a gift, and so like you are where you're meant to be.
Yeah, no, I love that because I feel like time is a thief, and you don't realize how much time actually goes by. And also too, like I love like the idea of like the old picture and then the new picture of the three of them, and just like how maybe not necessarily like the dynamic changing, but just all of the time in between that, and the history that has been made in between those two photos as well.
I also thought it was just so cute how Alice wanted so badly to meet them and be their friend when she was 17, but she was just so shy. And then she finally got that moment.
Right.
so many years later, and she was just with them.
And I'm pretty sure Percy said, or somebody said in the book, that like it feels like she should have fit the whole entire time.
Yes.
So like what could have been if she met them
I know.
at 17 instead, which is sweet.
Yeah. And it just begs the question, what would have happened differently if, like with Charlie and Percy, would they have ever gotten together and like messed with the Sam and Percy? So, yeah. Do you think you'll end up reading the first book?
I kind of want to now, especially to learn more about Sam and Percy, because I really enjoyed like their characters in it. I feel like they were very solid characters and very strong emotionally. That I feel like the first book would be really good to kind of learn their backstory a little bit to see how they got there.
Yes. It would be interesting, like reading it backwards.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, if I do end up reading it, then I'll have to come back to this and say how it was.
You'll have to let me know. I also said the yellow speedboat represents like the discovery of freedom and just identity, because that's where she was doing a lot of her little bucket list items.
You're right. It did. A lot of that was captured around the boat too. And I feel like they especially are very descriptive about the boat, like the sound that the boat makes, the color of the boat, kind of like what it looks like. The boat's been around for a very long time. It was vintage then whenever she was 17, so now it's really old. That I did feel like that has to be some sort of point in the book.
Yes. And the sound. I've had the awooga sound like playing through my head ever since I finished it. I could just see it on the paper in my mind.
Yes.
I don't know why that's sticking out to me so much, but I like that.
I also feel like the lake is like some sort of sanctuary as well. Like it feels like home. And I feel like you get those places in life where they just feel comfortable to you, to where you can then express yourself and find yourself again and feel vulnerable in that area without like feeling self-conscious about yourself or anything like that too.
I said something similar with the cottage. I said it was a place of healing because, I mean, like we said before, Alice was going through like a time of grief after her breakup and just like a loss of herself.
Yeah.
So just being there helped her find herself again.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Nan?
Yes, please. I loved her.
I loved Nan so much.
And I think also too, maybe because you call your grandmother Nana, right?
Yeah.
And I call my grandmother Nanny. So all of the best grandmothers have like a Nan type name anyways. So I think that's why I really connected, is because I loved that her name was Nan.
And just the cooking together and like hanging out. I really loved that. I really related to that relationship actually because I mean, I live with my Nana and just the amount of time we spent together, and we've almost reconnected like at a different time in our lives because normally people are close with their grandparents when they're younger, which I was, but that usually kind of falls as you get older. And I feel like I've had the same experience as Alice with just like reconnecting and like building on that relationship rather than kind of letting it simmer in the background.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like there is something beautiful about having connections with multiple generations. Because even like her connection with like her grandmother, and then but also like her niece too, which is a generation below her. I feel like having those strong intergenerational connections is very important in life, and I feel like they captured it really beautifully in this book, that her relationships with each generation in her family.
It broke my heart when it was her birthday and they didn't come.
Oh, I know.
I was upset.
I was too.
I was like, how? That is your sister.
Yes. Also, maybe, don't hate me when I say this, but also them being 24, like, I'm like, okay, maybe we can give some grace if you were in like your late teenage years, very early 20, but at 24, we need to kind of start getting our stuff together. And two, I feel like it's very important to like show up. If you're making the commitment, you're going to show up. And so that was really what bothered me. And then she also had to pay for them to come up to even hang out with them.
I know.
So I was just like, oh my gosh.
That to me was there's a massive bug climbing up that window and it distracted me. That was just, I hated how she babied them
Yes.
at their age. And I didn't like how her older sister, Heather, kind of allowed that to happen. Like, I feel like she
Yes.
should have said something rather than let Alice carry that burden of feeling like she needed to take care of the twins.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we know that Alice would try and take care of everybody. So,
Yes, that was
Yeah.
definitely like her personality in the book.
Mhm.
But I mean, we can also say the same for Heather too, because Heather ended up, she at least postponed her time
Mhm.
at the lake because she was supposed to come right around her birthday as well.
yeah, like the next day, I think.
And then she ended up coming later in the summer with her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So we can say the same thing for her, that she also bailed on her as well.
Yeah. And then the stuff with their mom.
I was kind of curious. At first, I thought her mom died
Yeah.
based off of how she was explaining kind of like the dynamic of like their relationship. So I was very confused until it was revealed that she just moved across the country instead. So, but then I feel like that's like another point of healing because her mom got divorced and then is finding herself again after being a mom and raising her children and being in a long marriage and then getting a divorce. She's finding herself again at her age.
Yeah.
too.
I like how there was a thematic continuation with like the storyline of the mom. Like, it
Mhm.
was a little tiny subplot.
Yeah.
And I liked how even the dad was involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
And you
too.
get to see that a little. But at the end, when the mom shows up, that made me happy for her.
That made me happy too.
Yeah.
Because moms do show up.
Yes. Sometimes you just gotta get them there first.
Yes. And I think too, since like I'm about to be a mom, like any like mom sweet related moments, I'm just like, that's what moms do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. What else? What else in the book can we talk about?
Okay, so what would you overall, should we get into the notable quotes or should we like maybe, I have a few thoughts that I could get out if we ranked this book.
Okay, we can rank it.
Okay.
Talk about our thoughts. You want to go first?
Okay, if you insist. But I think my overall rating here is 3 to 3.5. I enjoyed this book.
Mhm.
However, I feel like it was very much so already done in the sense of like kind of like the tropes and just like themes of the book. It gave me very like Emily Henry vibes, Abby Jimenez, in that realm. So
Mhm.
it's not a book that I would probably gravitate towards reading again just because I feel like I've read so many of those types of books before.
Yeah.
However, it was a very easy read. I did enjoy the characters. I did enjoy the plot of the book. And I think it would be a great summer read at like a beach or a lake or anything like that. And I didn't find myself ever wanting to put the book down and not pick it up again.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm standing with it.
Yeah. I think the pacing was really good.
I agree.
Like, there was never a lull to where I felt bored at any point.
Yep.
And there was always just something happening that was like driving the plot forward. So I like that because I feel like that happens a lot in romance books.
It does.
Yeah. So Carley Fortune did a great job at that. And that's usually my biggest gripe with like all books in general
Yes.
is the pacing.
I also feel like one of my biggest gripes with romance books is if something kind of like big happens, like something boils over in like the relationship. And then I don't know, I just get like an icky feeling and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to read this again. But even with, we aired our grievances about Charlie's miscommunication. And even at that, I don't feel like it ever boiled over to where I'm just like, okay, that's like a really big red flag.
Yeah.
I mean, it is because miscommunication is not fun, but it never made me hate the book.
Yeah.
Anything like that, if that makes sense.
And I feel like in a lot of romance books, when stuff boils over like that, it almost seems like the next day or maybe 2 days later, it's just all, it's over. Like, they're
Right.
back together and it's like it never happened.
Like, are you not going to talk about
Yeah,
that?
but in this book, that was not the case. They went, what, like a month, maybe even 2. She like blocked his number. They had no contact. She just
Yes.
went back to her life. And I was like, what's gonna happen? And then she gets the call.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. I like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was holding her ground and she wasn't like being a pushover about it.
Yes.
So I was like, that is more realistic than just saying, yeah, this huge thing happened, but we're just going to ignore it because we want them to be together.
Yeah.
So I thought it was more tasteful, at least.
I agree.
Yeah.
But okay, so what would your overall rating be?
I think probably 3.5 stars. I'm still, because I finished it yesterday, I'm trying not to let just like the giddiness of finishing a romance book get in the way of that, because I feel like I usually rate it too high and then later I'll re-rate it lower. So honestly, probably more 3 stars, but yeah.
I agree. I think it's fit right in that category.
It is exactly what I felt like reading.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was quick, easy, digestible. It wasn't too emotional. So it's what I needed from the long list of books that I was like...
A palate cleanser in a sense.
Especially with a TBR wheel, man.
You're rocking that, though. I feel like you've gotten through... How many books have you gotten through now?
I think I started and it was at 76, and I think I'm about to be on 65 now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's only been like a month-ish. So you're doing a really good job.
I'm trying to stay on top of it now, too, like being busy.
Yes.
So it's been a lot, but I'm getting there. And I'm doing it. It's like motivation, because I'm not allowed to buy any more books until I finish. And so that's been really hard for me.
I was about to say that's probably killing you.
Yes. Except, well, I did get Calabasas.
But that's
different.
That's for the podcast.
Loophole.
We don't, exactly. We cannot, the rules do not apply to the podcast.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, can we do this so I can actually read it and buy it?
Right. Which I'm really excited for that next book.
Okay.
Notable quotes, perhaps?
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. My first notable quote is, "You need someone to do something for you that makes you feel loved. Someone to help you." I shake my head. I hate asking for help. That's because deep down you want someone to see what you need before you have to ask.
Yes.
Yeah. I related to this quote so hard, because there's been multiple times where I get overwhelmed and I'm not asking for help. And Alex is always like, I can't read your mind.
Yes.
But I'm like, I want you to.
You're like, we've been together for so long, you should. Because I do that with Mitchell too. I'm just like, you should know me that already. But you do have to ask.
Yeah, and that's the hard part.
It is very hard. Well, because speaking of, you stated earlier about like the gift to age, and there was a quote in there that said, I'm lucky to have so much past, so many memories. It's a gift to age. And just truly how living life in itself is beautiful, and just holding on to like your own personal history just is something special that we get in our life. That is just, I like that one.
I do too. And I liked how they just kept going back to that.
Yes.
Especially like at our age now.
I feel like at our age too, being in like our late 20s now, that like you really do start to reflect on life and aging and just like where you're trying to be and trying to end up. That I do feel like your late 20s are a good time of reflection anyways.
And just the time of like wondering, what do I need to change, or what do I need to keep the same?
Yes.
And I think this book does a good job of representing that, because
Absolutely.
Alice does make changes rather than keep the things that were causing her to lose herself, basically.
Yes.
My next one was, "I'm turning 33 tomorrow. You'd think I'd be a little braver." And then Charlie says, I think the older we get, the scarier shit becomes. Yeah.
For more than one reason,
Yes.
too. Because you're like, okay, am I going to break something? Is this going to land me in the emergency room? But then just other aspects of life as well.
Yes. I used to be so much more carefree and like reckless, fearless. And each year, I won't even get on a jet ski anymore. Tried that once, thought I was going to die, just like flip off and drown to death.
Yes.
I went skydiving.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I feel like this might be a character flaw in myself, but I feel like I've always had like a block already that like anything that is going to give a bad reaction or potentially hurt myself, I've never been able to do it, even as a child. So I don't know. But still, the older that I get, the more cautious I am of those things.
Yes. Just the thought of cliff diving, like jumping off a high surface. Like, but
you will not catch me.
No. So honestly, I'm really proud of Alice because she was doing this stuff at 33.
Yes.
Checking that stuff off the bucket list.
Life doesn't end, even when you're older. So I think my next one would be, because for once in my life, I don't feel like I'm on the sidelines. For once, I'm in the photo. Because Alice, throughout the book, she never wanted to get her photo taken, or her subjects were always somebody else. But then she starts being more comfortable with the idea of photographing herself.
Yeah.
And I thought that that was such a beautiful representation of kind of like also what you go through in life. I feel like I can relate to that because I don't want my photo taken. I'd much rather have other people's photos taken, or like I would always be like, please do not get me. And I think it's just like, it's a nice full circle moment that she can also be the subject of her own photos.
And I definitely think she realizes there's strength in being vulnerable.
Yes.
And as someone like her who was constantly capturing those vulnerable moments, I think she was seeing, as she was looking back at her film of Charlie and Nan, I think she was starting to see, oh, like this is what I could be capturing of myself as well, and like seeing those changes in myself.
Yeah.
So, I just thought it was so cute. My last one is, this is a Nan quote. When you aren't staring at him, he's staring at you. It's like watching a tennis match. And I love that. Do you ever feel like when Mitchell isn't looking at you, like he's doing something, are you just staring at him?
Always.
I know. I do the same thing.
I'm just like, I love you so much that I have to stare at you.
I want to like see every little micro expression and just like catalog them in my brain. And I feel like that just falls under the umbrella of love.
Oh, absolutely. Mitchell hates it though, because he says that I'm staring.
I know. Alex, he's like, why are you staring at me? And I'm like, it's because you're so cute.
I know. I just love you.
But we're really just coming off as creeps, so that's fine. That's great.
Exactly. I'll keep that title. It's okay.
Okay. What about next read?
Ooh, we need a pick.
Well, we have it picked out.
Yes, we do. Okay.
It's releasing soon.
I know that you're really excited about this.
It's next week. Yes. Okay. It's Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. That is our next podcast read. It is, I'm going based off of memory here. It is about, I think, a PhD student who has to venture into the depths of hell to find her professor. And there are several references to many classics that I have not read, like Dante's Inferno, and I'm pretty sure the Odyssey as well, if I'm right. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot going on in that book, but I have very high expectations since it's our girl, R.F. Kuang.
Yes, I'm very excited for this book. I feel like the amount of research that she does for her books is just spectacular in itself, that I'm really excited to see what is going to be on the pages.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for it for so long.
Yes.
And I feel like it's going to scratch that dark academia itch.
Especially now that we're starting to get into fall a little bit, it's going to be the perfect read for it.
Can't wait. Okay, so if you want to follow along and read it with us, please do. And we will talk about it on our next podcast. Well, the one after that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you soon.